Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Guys, Boruto, if you have given up on it, totally understandable, and I can understand your concern of why you dropped the show. But your anime G is here to tell you you are missing out on just a little bit, and that I am actually praying that we are getting into something relatively new this week. Not new, but from last week, this is just being carried on. But to say that we are getting quite a bit of nuance is an understatement, which I think this is the closest thing we're going to be getting to having maybe like 4 or 5 episodes being based around this. With these two kids showing up at the end of the episode, making it seem like it's a bigger deal than it previously was. Like if it was just gonna be, um, over in a flash. Now it seems like there could be a little bit of a story arc to go off of here. And not to mention that we've already kind of seen who was pretty much capable of doing these things. And when I say capable of doing these things, it's because we find out Juzo in this episode isn't even the one who's spreading the curse mark to all of these birds, but yet he's the one who is trying to heal them all. And because of that, it comes down to this weird notion where all of a sudden he's the good guy and everybody around him is kind of just in the way. But with him not being able to keep control of himself, it's clear that he needs some type of reinforcement. He needs some type of backup to get all this done. And what you're seeing in the background right now is I'm just grinding right now. Like as you can see, I have a crap ton of money, but no XP, and that's because I just leveled up. Like I think I've gotten 6 levels in this area, which it takes a little while, but it's totally worth it because in this game, leveling doesn't really help you besides give you skills that you can use if you remember how to use them, and that's pretty much it. Like you have to fight bosses to get stronger and usually kill other bosses to get more health. So I thought I'd do this in the background while I'm talking about Boruto and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, really. But yeah, overall, we are getting like a cursed type of like episodes, and I was saying in my previous episode, if they just end this part of it and they just go like blast through this whole entire thing, curse marks might not be um, that huge of a prominent thing, but when we see that there's 2 kids about the same age as Boruto and them, but they look exactly like Mitsuki almost, just with a little bit more tone to his skin color, and their eyes are a different color. But when they push these buttons on their collars, all of a sudden we start to see the color of the curse mark first being like a bluish color, and then it changes into black. So curse marks seemingly always are going to end up black sooner or later, but as you can see with Juzo, his starts to turn like an orange and black until it finally takes fully control. And for him, it just turns into like hardcore skin, like armor. But for these kids, when you see the curse mark go up on them, it's straight up all the way up and down their face, and even their eyes change colors just like the birds. And I think this might be due to not having the curse mark literally attached to your actual being, like it's a part of you, like it's trying to become one with you. These kids clearly seem like they're either pushing a button to activate a curse in general, or this could be the only way that they can tap into their cursed abilities without um, without losing control, A, and B, it could just be their way of doing it in general. Because I mean, the curse mark was one of the most powerfulest things Sasuke had gotten for quite a while until he just kind of just got better than the curse mark in general. Like, being a Chiha literally means you're better than a curse mark, period. And that's what Sasuke did. But for other people who aren't a Chiha and broken already, it would definitely have taken them some time to make the curse mark theirs. And not only that, Sasuke then had some help getting rid of it, and once he gets rid of the curse mark altogether, he still seems like an absolute monster. So that's the difference between him and like Juzo, for so to speak. Like, Juzo right now is like super beast with it, and he would probably be pretty strong without it, but he's lived with the curse mark for his whole entire life. So it is kind of weird to have him be the one like struggling with it now, even though he's mastered it over all this time, or he should have been able to master it. Or like, the story is kind of going with the narrative of, you can't master it, it just starts to overtake you. Because we also know back in the old Naruto, the girl who was one of the Snake, during the exams, when she was the one letting everybody kill each other in the place to grab each other's scrolls, she was also cursed, and her curse mark was acting as if the same way as his, like, it would just take over sometimes and mess with her. But that was more or less because Orochimaru was still at large, and he could just amplify it at any time pretty much and make her go wild too. So I don't think that's what's happening with Juzo. I think this is just old age and fatigue with a curse mark. And that's what I was thinking at first, but now I think we all should know what could be the true problem with Juzo, and that's probably because he is absorbing someone else's cursed mark into himself repeatedly with every single bird that he saves. So not only is he getting rid of their curse mark and untransforming them, he's putting it into his body. And then, next thing you know, he loses control and can't feel his body. And I think that's due to these kids. That's due to their curse mark that they've been outputting this whole time. Not to mention, I think I should have watched what those guys were called, but there's these guys in white that seem like they are the controlling shinobi, like they're on like the FBI or something. These guys really came out here like, oh, have you guys had any information that you can share with us? And if you can't, it's okay. We'll be in the bush waiting for you to share information. Like, these guys look so un-ninja. They look like dairy farm, like, milk deliverers. And we got them hiding in a bush, straight up going Zexu. And Zexu and Hunter x Hunter is completely dead silent and hiding your presence completely. And that's what this guy is pretty much doing at this point. Oh my god, I almost fell off the edge. And I thought it was pretty interesting that that's where they're kind of going. Is now we'll have, what, 3 separate teams that could possibly be all aimed at Juzo. The cursed kids, our kids, and then now these guys in white. Which they seemingly seem like they're from a village. Like, they don't seem like they're supposed to be bad guys, so to speak. But if they happen to be working with the kids with the curse mark, it would make a lot of sense why they're both here at the same time. And maybe they set those kids free to go and hunt him down. And then on top of that, while they were bringing him out, they were there to just compromise if it... confirm if it was him or not, and then boom, bam, you got 2 people working on the same, or 4 people working on the same case, because the guy in the white had a partner who didn't say anything, and then the two kids are partners. So we get to see them attack the ladies, Team 5, I believe. And, oh man, it's going to be a rough fight for them if these kids are as good as I hope that they are. Because I'm really hoping that this is like a curse mark arc or something. Like, give us as many episodes as you did with the hidden stone or whatever, and give us a whole bunch of curse mark people. And Boruto this week puts out his type of curse mark out to Juzo. And do you know how angry I was when he didn't say anything? If he doesn't say anything at the end of this arc when they're done dealing with all of this, I will be heated, bro. Heated. He should have at least said something. Oh, I got this curse mark that's taking over my whole body and I'm beating the crap out of people. And then a little kid who won't leave you alone after you told him to leave him alone multiple times reaches his hands out to you and has a black diamond in his, or a black square looking emblem that's black and seemingly looking like a curse mark. And you're telling me the guy who's being taken over by curse marks isn't going to ask a question about what the heck is that? Come on, bruh. So that was my only gripe with this week's episode. But other than that, it was absolutely hype. I didn't expect Juzo to be such a fun character to follow, have the characters follow behind and learn about. I think if Sarada knew a little bit more about him and how he and Sasuke were like an item pretty much at one point, like they were just inseparable, I think she would have a lot more questions and stuff like that for him. But with him being the silent type, just like her father, there doesn't seem like much he might give out. And with the curse mark taking over every time within a certain amount of time, I don't think he would have that much time to even talk about these things. I mean, sure, they could keep him locked up in that tunnel or whatever, and then whenever he feels better, he could talk to him. But it seems unlikely. But overall, I love when they bring in stuff in the show that should have already kind of been in the show, or is easy to elaborate on, which is the curse marks. I mean, all you gotta do is find someone that either knew of the curse mark or already had his own unique curse marks and make him attach it to other people. Like that's it. And then you could either make the story long or you can make the story short. We beat the guy that attached it to the people and boom, we win. Or we beat the guy that attached it to the people, but the curse mark victims are still out there. Some of them more evil than others, and we gotta hunt curse mark people down whenever we get a chance to. And then boom, you got a whole bunch of random episodes of really strong curse mark people showing up, and even bring back Juzo to be the locator of them, like he can sense curse mark activations or something. So I'm not creating Boruto, I just have ideas for it. And when these ideas don't come true and they have all these things set up and they kind of just go to the left of the idea, I'm kind of like whatever. Like, I mean, the show is at 99 episodes. If they really wanted to make the best of the best content, I think they already think they are with how many episodes are dropping back to back to back to back. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't wait to actually see if they're gonna go long term with this or beyond short term and just body these kids. Because we gotta also remember that while they were not in a curse mark, they couldn't even throw shurikens fast enough. And well, let's be fair. We all know Naruto characters love to fight. They all love to get in a scrap and show off their power. And not only show off their power, but make people completely poop or pee themselves when they find out how they control the power or why they control the power, stuff like that. But to be fair, I think once we see it, I don't think there's going to be much more to it than that. Like, I think they're just going to do some sick attacks, maybe do a team up attack, and then everybody's gonna team up on them and body them. But what I hope is we find out who gave them these collars, like who could have made a necklace pretty much out of curse mark, and then whenever you push the button, you literally get a huge, ridiculous boost of power. That sounds pretty dangerous. Sounds like some really dangerous technology. So hopefully this is gonna go for a while, or hopefully it leads into meeting a bigger character that we should have maybe known about already, seeing how he was in the very first episode, and now we're 98 episodes after the first episode, and we still haven't seen anything about him, and I'm talking about Kawaki. And yeah, so we are on a journey with this show, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry that the background was just me bodying these guys over and over, but like I said, I've already gotten 2 skill points, and I'm making a video right now to, get the daily content out. This is awesome. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case it is when you're watching this. If you are a Boruto fan, I'm probably going to be posting this in Reddit and Anime and Mimo. So just let me know what you guys are actually expecting from this show now. Like, do you even expect certain aspects like the curse marks to even be relevant in a show like this where they're making the 8 gates from like Rock Lee still irrelevant? They're making the Byakugan users irrelevant, really. Like, they still haven't done anything. Like, there's a lot of things from the old show that they could have capitalized on, but instead they start to make their own new nuance out of it. Like, for instance, Boruto's eye. Like, instead of just making him a normal Byakugan user, he gets this ridiculous eye, but his sister is a normal Byakugan user. Like, so it just seems like they pick and choose when they want to be new or when they want to just keep things very simple and old school. So that's my only gripe with it, is I can't tell if they're actually going to go all out or if they're just going to go half and just think that the audience didn't want any real good um, implications of what all of these bad guys tend to have. And all the bad people tend to have something way powerful, way more powerful old versions of things we've already known. So who knows? I'm gonna stop babbling here and get to the next video. I gotta watch a whole nother anime for later tonight, so I hope you guys are subscribed and have that notification bell on to get that information when it's dropped, and I will talk to you in the next one. So peace. Let's see this. You heard nothing.